Hi guys, it's
Lauren Daisy.
Welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing, well, we're starting kind of like a mini series on this channel that is going to span 6 videos. Yeah, 6 videos. And I'm pretty excited about it. So it's going to be ranking the Pretty Little Liars couples. So we're going to do Aria, Spencer, Hannah, Emily and Allison. I'm going to do a video for each of them ranking their couples, talking a bit more in depth about the love interests and things, and then the kind of finale, I suppose, to this series, the final part, is going to be ranking every single couple that has ever graced the Pretty Little Liars screen. And there are 77 of them, because I've included everybody. I've included people that have flirted, I've included people that have just kissed, everything. 77 couples, and I'm very, very excited about it. I take this shit very, very seriously. I've got my Pretty Little Liars mug out. I've got Mango Loco in it. I'm excited and I'm ready to go. Today, to kickstart it, I thought, who better than my personal favorite liar, which I think is quite the hot take, Aria Montgomery. So at number 12 we have Aria and Connor, which, again, I said I'm including absolutely everybody. This was nowhere near a relationship. That's why I put him at the very bottom.
All right, in case you or any of your friends are confused, you kissed me and I pushed you off and then you left.
Connor was introduced in, I think he's only in 1 episode or maybe 2. He is Mike's friend that Aria kindly offers to tutor. He then kisses her, I think, or attempts to kiss her, and then she rejects him. He then goes to school and tells everyone that they slept together, I think, that she was into him when she obviously wasn't. So that's why he is at the very bottom, because it was absolute scumbag behaviour. But because they had a kiss, had to include them. At number 11, we have Aria and Sean. So again, low down because they weren't an actual couple, but honestly, a little bit cute.
She can share my date.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Not obviously with the circumstances of the fact that he was obviously Hannah's boyfriend at the time. He definitely loses points for that. But I do think there maybe could have been a cute match in a different parallel PLL universe. In season 1 is when they had their little connection kind of thing, very one-sided, very just on Sean's part there, when Hannah asks Aria to basically keep Sean company at the dance, and then Sean actually sends Aria flowers. All very strange, and he was obviously like interested in her, so it was just a bit weird. But obviously he was a better contender than Connor. So at number 10, cracking into the top 10, which honestly isn't saying much because Aria, she's got some poor contenders in this list. At number 10 we have Aria and Andrew. They became kind of a thing in season 5.
That's why we need to hang out more. Basically a human stepladder.
He basically was interested in her and offered to tutor her after she was copying his answers in an exam. I thought was quite sweet. Obviously then he started to get a bit weird and creepy, and he was definitely a red herring. But I think they could have been kind of cute had Aria treated him better, and also had he not been a red herring and then the girls treated him so badly. Because ultimately, obviously, we know that he didn't do anything wrong. He had no involvement. It was all just leading them to believe that it was him. Bless his heart, basically. But he seemed sweet. He was very caring towards her. She kind of just, yeah, treated him badly. I love Aria, but I will say that he was constantly like offering to help her, like driving her to a potential A clue, helping out Mike, helping out the girls, you know, and all this stuff. And when she fell and things like that, he seemed very sweet, but she was always kind of forgetting that they had a study day and not being rude to him, but just kind of using him. They're further down, honestly, because of how Aria treated him. I don't think ultimately she really wanted to be with him or would have been a good match for him. And then she really sealed the deal when she said that she saw him in the dollhouse when she didn't. And yeah, I think that was the real nail in the coffin there. So then at number 11, we have Aria and Clark. So Clark was only in a few episodes in the first half of season 6.
They used one of your photos to advertise.
Obviously, there was no romantic connection really. It kind of seemed like maybe there was, but it was purely friendship. Especially after it was found out that Clark was a undercover cop. I think they could have paired well. I thought they looked cute together, and obviously he was interested in photography, or maybe he wasn't actually, because he was an undercover cop. Maybe it was all fake. Oh, I've seen the show like 7-8 times, and I only just clocked that it was probably all fake. But anyway, they seem to have a kind of nice bond. Maybe I should have put them lower because I guess everything was fake. I'm literally having a realization now, but I can't change the list now, so that's it. He seemed like a nice friend for her, and that maybe could have blossomed into something, obviously, had that been the truth. But then I also suppose as an undercover cop, he would have been older and not suitable, because she would have been 17, 18, and as an undercover cop, he probably would have been in his 20s. So yeah, maybe he should be lower down on this list. But we move. Then we have Aria and Riley. Aria met him when she went to a university open weekend, I think, or like for a tour.
You should find me if you're ever in Rosewood.
Count on it.
Basically, she was trying to just escape Rosewood because she had just found out about Ezra and his book. Spent like the night together and some of the day. And he seemed he was nice. I feel like he was just a bit meh, honestly, because he was only in one episode. We didn't really get to see any of him, but I think he was kind of perfect for what she kind of needed in that moment. And he seemed fun. He played the guitar. He was cute. So maybe if they kind of like reconnected or something, that could have been a kind of fun storyline after the time jump, if they bumped into each other somewhere. Could have been kind of cute. So then at number 7, we have Aria and Noel. Noel should probably be at the bottom of this list. I'm purely focusing on Noel when they did kind of date in season 1.
Lay around being lazy together, watching old movies all day.
I love that idea.
And it's a date.
Because I thought it was cute that Aria obviously had a crush on him. You know, they would talk about it in the flashbacks and things. And I thought that was kind of sweet for her to have a crush on him and then to kind of get the guy, like, in that kind of cheesy rom-com trope. And I thought they were sweet when they got together, you know, and they had their singing scene together. And he seemed to actually quite like her when they went on like the double date with Hannah and Sean. I thought they were kind of cute, and I think had obviously Noel not grown to be one of the main villains, they could have worked out. And spoiler for the book, so maybe skip ahead like 20 seconds, but they do end up together in the books, so I think that kind of gives them a little tiny bit of an edge for me. Obviously at the end we all know what happened to Noel. So based on that, that's why they are further down. I think had he just maintained a kind of side character role and been phased out kind of like after high school or something, they would definitely be higher up my list. To be fair, Noel kind of seemed like the villain in season 1 because he wanted to expose Aria and Ezra and like kind of take Ezra down for what he was doing and blackmail him, which obviously blackmail isn't good. I'm not condoning blackmail, but also the show did a very good job of villainizing anyone that wanted to get in the way of Aria and Ezra, when in reality, if this was real life, someone should have stepped in and Noel should have said something, because that would have been the right thing to do. But they made him look like the villain for, you know, kind of finding out about them, if that makes sense. So in the early bits, I think he was definitely a contender. But as we know, he slipped down the rankings because of who he kind of turned into towards the end. At number 6, we have Aria and Liam. For me, you might be thinking, like, how is Liam not at least in the top 5 or the top 3, considering that he was, aside from Ezra, Aria's longest relationship, I think.
Did you sleep at all last night?
I'll sleep when I'm unemployed.
Okay.
For me, I just found Liam to be quite dull. When he found out, you know, obviously about Aria and Ezra, he had every right to be mad, but I think he went about it in quite an unprofessional way, considering that was like their job and their career. It was giving very high school vibes, which I do kind of understand. It's obviously frustrating for that to end up that way. And I guess he obviously saw the frustration in you were with your high school English teacher, like that is wrong. So I kind of get where he was coming from. They didn't really seem to click that well. Like I guess that's obviously the writer's intention, because you're not supposed to ship the liars with the new partners they gave them. But yeah, they really did a good job, because I didn't really ship them at all. I felt like they didn't really have that much chemistry. We never really got to see that many scenes together where they were like happy and like really clicking that much. So yeah, I guess they obviously had in common that they both liked writing, but other than that, they were a bit of a dull pair. So at number 5, this could be a very controversial take, so I'm ready for it. Okay, I'm ready for the backlash, but I have put Aria and Wes. Now hear me out. Wes is Ezra's younger brother. Yes, I know.
Because you're unexpected.
We saw him when Ezra kind of went away to deal with the whole Maggie drama, I believe. He came to visit and Aria spent some time with him, and honestly, I thought they clicked. I thought they were cute. Obviously, Wes was more in Aria's age range, and they just seemed to get on really well, and it just seemed sweet, and I thought their kiss was sweet. Obviously, it was bad. It was dodgy because she was technically still with Ezra, I believe, when she kissed him, and he was his brother, so very dodgy situation there. But I think had Aria and Ezra broken up properly and not been so invested in each other, it could have worked. But because they were so like love of each other's lives, like kind of standard at that point, it just would have been weird because he was his brother. But taking the Ezra ties out of it, I thought they were really cute, I can't lie. And so he's in the top 5. Because, like I said, there aren't a lot of contenders here that really could make the top 5. As proven by our number 4 spot. So in number 4, we have Aria and Holden. And I know that they were never actually a couple. They never kissed, I don't think, or anything like that. But I thought they were sweet. It could have been like a friends to lovers kind of trope. I love me some of that.
Winning really brings out the nerd in you, huh?
Okay, I'm gonna ignore all of your hostility right now because I know that it comes from a place of shame.
Holden was introduced in season 2, I think, and he comes into it as one of Aria's friends from when she was younger. His parents and her parents are friends, and they basically use each other as a cover to go and do the things that they actually want to do that their parents don't want them to do, if that makes sense. So Aria uses Holden as an excuse to go out so that she can see Ezra, and Holden uses Aria as his kind of get out of jail free card so that he can go and do, I think it's like some kind of martial arts that he's not supposed to do because he has a heart condition. So they were mutually beneficial for each other. I thought they were really sweet. I loved their scene where it turned out that both of their events like got cancelled, and they were both just gonna sit and wait for the other person, but it turned out they both got cancelled. So they played air hockey together, and that's one of my favorite gifs of Aria, where she dances when she wins, and I just thought she was so like happy with him. Like, he made her laugh, and she obviously cared about him because she was really concerned when she found out about the martial arts and his heart condition. So yeah, I thought they were really sweet. I thought they definitely had potential. I loved they brought him back in season 6. Again, their dynamic, even when they were older, was still sweet. Maybe it was just friendship, but I think it definitely could have been more than that, and that would have been cute, and I wouldn't have been mad at it. Again, exactly her age, so we're getting somewhere. So now the top 3. So at number 3, I have Aria and Jake. Obviously, they're higher than other people on this list, I mean, aside from Liam, because they were an official couple, and I did think they were sweet. Obviously, he was very cute.
I am so sorry.
No,
I have no idea why I just did that.
it's fine. I don't think that's what you came here for.
No, I didn't.
They did seem to get on okay. He was a lot of fun, and he genuinely seemed to care about her a lot. and wanted to, you know, protect her and be there for her, which was nice. I suppose the only thing is that he again would have been older because he was an instructor, so a bit of a weird dynamic there again. And also towards the end it kind of just became clear that they didn't have so much of the same interests. Like he kind of found the movies that she liked boring, and you know, he didn't really put that much effort into kind of participating in her hobbies, sort of thing. But I did think they were cute and definitely had potential. I think maybe like further down the line, you know, if they reunited or something like that when we were older, I think it maybe could have worked. But yeah, they didn't really seem to have too much of the same kind of interests. I think they were definitely at that point showcasing how much Aria and Ezra had in common, because obviously we see that he watches those black and white films with her and Jake wasn't interested in those things, so you're supposed to kind of root for Aria and Ezra again, even when she's with other people. Coming in at second place, this is definitely, to be honest, it could be a hot take either way, in that I have Aria and Ezra number 2, and it could be a hot take in one sense because people obviously like Aria and Ezra and think they should be at the top, and because they were together for the longest and all that stuff, they should be at the top. Or it could be a hot take because of people thinking they're too high up. It could definitely go either way.
Mr. Fitz, this is Byron Montgomery. I'm Aria's dad. Look, I'm sorry about it.
So you want an egg roll?
Sounds good.
Honestly, do I think that this relationship would be okay in real life? Absolutely not. Do I think that the show should have romanticized a student-teacher relationship? Absolutely not. But do I still shamefully enjoy their relationship and enjoy their scenes together? I absolutely do. I can't lie. And there's been a lot of kind of people rewatching PLL, a lot of Ezra calling out, which I think is good. I think we should call out that they romanticized and put together and got, you know, all the way to marriage, this clear age gap relationship that should not have happened. But maybe I think it's just a soft spot of nostalgia. I kind of can't not like them. I think I can definitely see the issues with them and not want another show to do this, and obviously not be supporting of this kind of relationship, while also honestly enjoying their relationship. And I feel like that is definitely a kind of controversial thing to say because they get absolutely slated, as they should, all over social media, you know, all this stuff. Ezra gets a lot of hate, which again is justified, but I think because Aria's always been my favorite, and when I watched it as a teen, maybe I've just been brainwashed, I think that's probably the case, but when I was a teen I loved them together. I really did. I was a hardcore Ezra stan. I had a t-shirt and everything. Okay, just don't. Because of that, I think that love for them definitely carries over, and it sticks like a stain and I can't get rid of it. And they do have some really sweet scenes together that I do really enjoy, when, you know, they meet in the rain, and then when she says, you know, I'll be waiting by the clock, and then you think he's not going to show up and then he does, or when she runs out and kisses him in the car park, you know, like there really are some very iconic scenes that I do love, and I love Ian and Lucy together, and I think they look really good together. And obviously that is down to the fact that Lucy and Ian, when they were playing these characters, were far closer in age. I think maybe even Lucy may be older than Ian, or it's literally just a couple years between them, so obviously they don't look like how they would look in real life with that kind of age gap. So I think it's easier to kind of, you know, turn a blind eye. This is obviously my ranking, it's based on my opinion, and I can't deny that I did love them at one point, and when I watch, I still do enjoy their relationship. I hate the whole thing with the book, and I think they definitely ruined their relationship. I think, for me, I do think that it should have been over with the book. I think you know, after the book, if you're going to do something like that, and I'm going to make a video about how I would have rewritten PLL and how I would have wanted it to end, so this is like a little sneak peek of that. But if you're going to do something so drastic, like completely change their whole meeting, change their whole relationship, and make it even more sinister than it already kind of was, then you can't put them back together after that. Like, you just can't. So I think I kind of hold on to, even though again it wasn't right, the sweet nature of their seasons 1 and 2 and 3 relationship, as I do think, even though I can't lie, I did enjoy that they ended up together at the time, that their relationship wasn't the same after that. I didn't have the same, and that is not even just in like us knowing what he did, but I think even the writing of their relationship, especially when they reunited after the time jump, they didn't have that same spark, they didn't have that same romantic energy that I love so much about them in the early seasons. Towards the end, they just didn't work, and obviously, like I've said, no condoning of age gap relationships. I think in real life it is definitely awful, and I think shows going forward should definitely not try to normalize this kind of thing, because I think it did make it feel like that at the time, which definitely was not right. It was quite a scary thing to like look back and be like, oh yeah, I thought this was totally fine, and then like look back and you're like, that was not okay. So I think obviously Pretty Little Lies is what it is. It is frozen in its time. Can't go back and change it now. We can call it out, absolutely, but I think it is also okay at the same time to admit if you liked Ezra, or if you still enjoy them when you watch it. That is okay. It's okay. Like, two things can be true at the same time. You can agree that it shouldn't have happened and they shouldn't have romanticized it like that, while also just being like, you know, it was good TV. I think anyway. I think that is okay. Please don't berate me for this. But yeah. So they're at number 2, especially because also they were the longest relationship in this show. Yeah, they are the longest relationship out of anybody. I guess not technically, maybe if you piece it all together, but they are together for a good chunk of this show. He is obviously Aria's one true love, and I think that counts for something in the ranking list. So then at number 1, potentially could be a hot take. I'm not entirely sure. I think people like these two together, but then again, there is still a bit of age issues with these two. But my number 1 pick is Aria and Jason. I thought they were really cute. I can't lie. Again, you know, when he first expresses interest in her, it is a bit weird because he's obviously his sister's best friend, like his younger sister's best friend, so that is weird. I think he's supposed to be, again, in his 20s, in his early 20s, like Ezra. So again, not condoning of that. It's very icky.
At least think about it.
Yeah, I will.
But I loved them after the time jump. I was so excited when I like saw that they actually had been together. I thought they would have been so cute, and I would have been perfectly happy with that end game, now that obviously it is age appropriate, Aria being in her 20s. I thought they clicked really well. I thought they had great chemistry. I just thought they were really sweet, and even their scenes together in the early days, I was like, I think I like these two together. So yeah, and genuinely, I think even though we didn't get to see that much of them, they did have more chemistry than Aria and Ezra at points. I just really rooted for them, and I thought they were really like cute, and I think he would have been a better choice for Endgame. And then just to make the De Laurentiis Liars family tree even bigger, throw the Montgomerys in as well. That would have literally made everyone except for Hannah a member of the De Laurentiis family in some way. But yeah, so that is my entire ranking of all of Aria's love interests. Tell me what you think. Would you have put other people higher? Would you have put them lower? Who would you have had as the number one pick? Would it have been Ezra, purely out of longest relationship, you know, the main ship, all that kind of stuff? Or would you have put him right at the bottom because obviously he's done some dodgy dealings? Let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be talking about Spencer's relationships. So I'm super excited for that one. And yeah, there'll be a playlist where I'm adding these into, so then at the end, once all 6 videos have been uploaded, you'll be able to watch them all. And yeah, definitely come back for the finale because you'll be able to see where I placed all of Aria's relationships in amongst everywhere else. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm also going to do these videos for other shows as well. Gossip Girl and 90210 already have planned, already have ranked. That was a lot of fun. So those will be coming as well. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.